She asked for a ticket to Greece for her birthday after birthing 8 kids and giving up her dream of being a ballerina. And you gifted her an apron? The only valid emotion to be experiencing during this time is pure anger. I would be so hot that my skin would literally melt off my body. You can do this one thing that I asked you to do after me sacrificing so much of my life. I would be like, you know what, honey, why don't you go ahead and take the kids into the city for a while? I just want to have a couple hours by myself, for my birthday. I'd burn that farm to the ground, and then I would be on a one-way flight to Greece. I'm so fed up with society telling people, specifically women, that they are not allowed to be angry because they know that when you get angry enough, that's when you decide to change. They don't want women to change. They want them to keep swallowing their sorrows and submitting to what is expected of them. Let this be a lesson to all of us. Selflessness is out and anger is in.
The queen of all tradwives. The Oga Pata Pata Pata. She's the queen of all. Like, take your crown. Take your crown, you all. I'm sure you must have seen the article. I posted it on my community post. And then you must have seen some videos flying around. If you've not, let me just give you a little bit of hint what's going on, because the videos I'm going to be playing, you might still have an idea what's going on, right? So this woman is married to a very wealthy man. She's having a birthday and she was expecting a birthday gift from her partner, her husband, and she was just saying, oh my god, she was trying to unbox the video, the gift, and she was like, I pray this is going to be my ticket to Greece, which he can actually afford. It's not like she's dreaming or daydreaming. It's something she knows that her partner can afford. That is why she decided, or she was saying it like, I hope this is a ticket to Greece. But then she unboxed the thing and she saw apron. This woman has 8 children for this man. 8 children. She is a trad wife, and that is why we're calling her the queen of trad wife. An article later came on to explain everything about her family, what was really going on. You all, she gave birth to those 8 children, or 7 of those children, without epidural, natural births, because her husband would not let her take epidural. The only time she took epidural was when her partner was not around. What is your take on this? I kind of feel bad for her. I don't know if it's just me. I know. I kind of feel a little bit bad for her. I kind of feel like she needs help. But then I have some videos to share with you. Let's go ahead and watch these videos together. And I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
It was my birthday present from Daniel. Hoping their tickets to Greece.
Where's it from?
I don't know, the boys took it off.
I took it off.
It's from Ukraine.
So, plane tickets? Ooh, a hat I can wear in Greece.
It's not a hat.
It's not.
Oh, my egg apron!
Eggs in it.
Great, then you can gather eggs.
So cute. It's really cute. It's a cute one.
That's the best. You're welcome.
Thanks, honey.
Not for a long time. It's not a hat.
It's not.
Have you noticed how we rally together en masse as feminists when it comes to individual acts of men towards women versus how the outrage doesn't seem to be as big when we have to face like systemic oppression within the patriarchy? And stick with me with that, because it's something that I've been like thinking about. I'm not the only one. Creators in this app have been talking about like white feminism, and I think it's more around this self-centered feminism. And I think that when we're talking about self-centered feminism, we're talking about like the type of feminism that we personally can relate to. And it's a result of capitalism, because capitalism isolates and it makes you kind of be like self-centered around like, well, if it doesn't affect me, I don't care. But what people don't understand is that the systemic oppression of the patriarchy should have way more outrage than even these individual acts of, harm from men who steal women's dreams through marriage, or like, you know, like put them in situations where they have to forget themselves. And I get it. It's like relatable. It's like, you know, like you can put yourself in Ballerina Farm's shoes and say like, this man stole my dreams. Like I didn't want to be a mother. Like there's so many things that can be relatable to her specific case, which like explains the outrage and like how everything boomed. But I think that we need to really step out of this self-centered feminism where like we can only empathize with cases that like we personally relate to. And that's, I think, why many people call white feminism, because when it comes to whiteness, it's like, well, if it doesn't affect me, why would I care, right? There's a lot of things that in this case, like she's white, she obviously, like many people can see themselves in those shoes, versus the shoes of a mother in Gaza who is seeing their child blown to pieces, or like, you know, like the mothers of African American kids who get like shot in the street by cops. So like, I think that it is important to decenter ourselves from this idea of what feminism is and really start expanding that, I would say, boundary when it comes to empathy, deconstructing capitalism's self-centered ideology around where like, well, if it doesn't happen to me, who cares? And actually start thinking about like, what is the kind of feminism I want to engage in? Because with the Trump presidency threat, we will be facing not a lot of things that we'll be seeing face to face, but will be affecting thousands of women. And if we're unlucky, we might be, you know, part of that statistic of women who, you know, had to like, you know, be in emergency procedures because of an abortion, or like, you know, they weren't able to get the services that they needed, or they go to jail because of an abortion, you know, like, so think about how is it that we can decenter ourselves in terms of feminism, because I don't think we're doing the movement any service, especially how important it is at this time to be united, collectively united, in an ideology that feminism is to uplift women everywhere and protect women everywhere.
Oh, my A-game friend!
He did it.
Something about that video tells me that we're kind of missing the point of what happened in that video. You can clearly see from her movements and that crooked smell she got, but from her eyes, you can tell that she's not happy about that gift, but she's so overloaded with just being a mom and a wife and taking care of everything else. She just numb to it. She can't react the way she wants to. Because me, I would react, but you can tell she just can't, and she ain't got no energy for it. She knows that her husband and her husband's family own an airline. Those tickets ain't gonna cost nothing, but you gave her something that she doesn't want. You know she doesn't want it, and then that energy, I gave you this, so be happy with it, and that's what she did. Women ask men all the time, what do we want? And we tell them respectfully and not without a, babe, this is literally what I want, and this is all I want. It's not much. And then you gave the opposite. That's exhibit A right there. And that's that man's wife, not just the mother of his kids. He didn't even make the gift romantic. Like, and I feel bad for her. Before she had his kids, she was his romantic partner first and became his wife, and he forgot that. I just feel bad for her. I truly feel bad for her, because she looked like a very beautiful woman. She take care of him. She take care of his kids. And then he give her the short hand of the stick. A lot of us women deal with that. And I just truly feel bad for her. I do feel bad.
So you're telling me that the Times posted an article about your family and how you're a content creator living the traditional housewife. The journalist on this article needs a pay raise, needs a promotion immediately. You're telling me within the article the journalist is mentioning what is happening during the interview. Kids are running around. She doesn't have any nannies. The husband is constantly interrupting her. If he doesn't like the answer she says, he will interrupt her. She says that she has all her kids' births unmedicated except for 2. She has to whisper that she got an epidural during one while he was out of the room. God forbid he finds out that you got an epidural during your birth. You have no help, but you only have a cleaning lady once a week. The kids are running around. You talk about your dreams of being a dancer, and slowly that went away once you had more and more kids. Also, you live this traditional housewife like story. You make all your food from scratch. You take all the kids with you to go grocery shopping. You say you do all of this and do content creation, and sometimes you're so exhausted, you're in bed for a week, yet you're happy with everything that's going on. And let's also mention that your husband is from a very, very wealthy family. He also has that, inheritance that will come to him eventually. This article explained traditional housewife and also, without saying it, why it should not be a thing anymore. There's pros and cons to everything, but the way this article highlighted just the little things, the kids running around, there's she can't even express herself in a full sentence without the husband and kids interrupting her. Couldn't be me.
One of the reasons why I find the discourse around that Ballerina Farms article in the Sunday Times so interesting is because there are two sides that vehemently disagree on one fundamental thing. And that one thing is whether or not to feel bad for Hannah Nealman. I came out of reading this article feeling badly for her. She seems like she's a kept woman and that her husband is really calling the shots and she's just a domestic slave. On the other hand, there's a lot of people saying that because they're wealthy, she has the resources to get out. She is a victim of her own decisions. She doesn't need to have 8 kids and work on a farm. She can get out. And I think that while, yes, she has a lot more resources than many other people do in this kind of like icky domestic labor situation, she has been indoctrinated by the Mormon faith since she was young. I'm not sure how much of choice she really had in all of these things.
The Times recently interviewed Ballerina Farms and her husband and then released an article about it. I read the article today and I want to talk about the most interesting thing that I took from that article. I am one of 7 children, for reference. Same mom, same dad. We did not grow up Mormon. I did grow up Catholic and I am number 2 in that lineup. Something that happens when you grow up in a big family, especially if you are one of the older children in the lineup, is you quickly become parentified. This is especially the case if you are a girl. And what pinged me immediately about the Ballerina Farms article was when I saw the picture of her and her husband and all of her children, honestly, the first thing I took stock of was the fact that her 3 oldest children are boys. As I'm reading the article, they make it very clear that they have a cleaner and they don't have any nannies though. Somebody comes and homeschools their children, but for the most part, she is responsible for their care. She is the one that does all of the grocery shopping. Her husband does help out on the farm. He makes a big show of saying that they are a team, but it's very clear that she is the one doing the majority of the work, especially since they said in the article that a lot of days she is laid the F out from being exhausted from taking care of all of those children. Right before they said that though, they brought up the fact that the kids operate as their own little ecosystem and generally look after each other. As someone who comes from a big family, the only way that works, even if both parents are heavily involved, is if the older siblings are somehow watching over or picking up the slack for the younger siblings. I have 3 thoughts about the ways it could go for her sons, who are clearly the oldest, who are clearly helping their mother out and are taking on some type of parent role in this household. Whoever they end up marrying and ultimately having children with, if they go that route, they are going to be amazing fathers. They are going to tap in and be hands-on parents. That's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, they have spent so much of their youth surrounded by children and helping their mom watch their younger siblings that they're probably going to be a little resentful in some way, shape, or form. And maybe not resentful, but grow up not wanting children of their own. My older sister is in LA living her best life. She ain't got no kids. Me, next month, it'll be 8 years since I've been married. I've been with my husband for 13 years. We ain't got no kids. If it happens, wonderful. If it doesn't happen, that's okay too. The sister after me has 1 child and she's probably team 1 and done. The third scenario, and I think this is the more likely scenario, but I really hope not for the sake of these men's future partners, they will have watched their mom have child after child after child and has accomplished really great things. You know, she just won her beauty pageant. She's bounced back. She's running this farm. She's doing it with no help or very little help anyways. They'll have watched her do all of this,
view their mom as like this superwoman, put her on a pedestal, and anyone they partner with afterwards, they will think that that is normal, and their wives, the mothers of their children, should take on that burden as well. Because of the values and the teachings of the religion they are being raised under and in, that is what they preach. They will have watched their mother struggle for all of these years and be like, yeah, now that's a woman. That's a wife right there. That's what I want in a wife for myself. All of that remains to be seen. Her boys are still children. They're 12, 10, 9 years old. They don't got to worry about it. It just struck me as very interesting as someone who grew up in a family and who did take on the role of helping out my parents with my younger siblings. But I have taken that approach from obviously a girl child's and now a woman's perspective, and I've never seen it talked about from a boy's perspective. Not only from a boy's perspective, but how it impacts them as men when they are dating and when they become fathers, if they choose to become fathers. Just very interesting.
A lot of people have been talking about the Times article with Ballerina Farms tradwife Hannah Neeleman, and I have some things to say about this. Nobody seems to be picking up on the probably most important part of this story. And that is the fact that Hannah is a member of a cult, and that is informing all of these choices that she's making. So yes, the article is heartbreaking, but I don't see it so much as a conversation about feminism. I see it as she is an indoctrinated victim of a large cult, the LDS Church. Why am I qualified to speak on this? Because I also grew up in a cult, a religious Christian cult. There's so much overlap between LDS or Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses, which is the cult that I grew up in, that ex-Mormons and ex-JWs refer to each other as cult cousins. In the online community where apostates or, excommunicated disfellowship people from both of those cults gather, like in the Reddit forums, there's so much commonality that we end up reading each other's forums and posting in each other's forums. They're both new American cults that were started in the 19th century by wealthy white con men who had mental illness and thought they were special and being led by God to bring the true religion to people. I haven't seen a single video acknowledging this fact. I have seen women, and I watched a bunch of them yesterday because, who isn't interested in Ballerina Farms? She has this beautiful, precious looking life, but beneath the surface, there is danger lurking. I know a little bit about that because I was also kind of a tradwife. I had 7 children while I was in a cult. This is a woman who is not an autonomous individual, and I've seen women on here saying things like, well, I don't want to speak about her life because she is a grown woman, she is an autonomous person, she has free will, she's making choices. No, she isn't. No, she isn't. She is being indoctrinated and has been indoctrinated since the day she was born into the Mormon cult. Okay? She's not making choices that are informed. She's being told that she has to obey her husband. And it's so clear when you read the article. The reporter pointed out every time that the man interrupted her, every time that he spoke for her, every time in their lives when clearly he is pulling strings and making choices that are not best for her long-term well-being, whether financially, whether physically. She's going to keep popping out a baby every year until her womb falls out, until she has prolapse, or until she breaks down. One of the most recent videos that I saw that she posted, it was something like 11 days postpartum. She just gave birth. She just gave birth, and she's getting ready to go and do a pageant. She's going to get a spray tan. And she just gave birth 11 days ago. That is not healthy, and it is not safe. It simply is not safe. It is not best for her well-being. And the fact that this man is the heir to the blue jet billions, but he won't hire a housekeeper or a nanny to help her out when she has 8 children? No. She's being told that she has to obey the man in the room. She has to obey her husband.
Yeah.
That's what she's been taught her entire life from the moment that she was born. And not only does she have to obey him now that he's her husband, but she had to obey him when they were just dating and engaged, because in her mind, he already owns her. He's her husbandly owner, according to the scriptures. You don't understand, unless you've been in a cult, you don't understand the patriarchy and the misogyny that exists in these new American Christian cults, okay? The woman is not making informed choices. And if she's extremely lucky, her life will not blow up. If she's extremely lucky. The article also said that she was so exhausted at times that her husband reports that she sometimes spends an entire week in bed.
Yeah.
We're watching an abusive system happening in front of our eyes because of her notoriety online, because of her social media platform, which is her. Let's just tell the truth. People are watching her because she's a beautiful blonde white woman with this beautiful aesthetic cottage core with all these beautiful little babies that she's pumping out every year. That's why people are watching, but it's a lie, because underneath the surface there is danger. If everything works out perfectly for this woman, the worst that will have happened was that she gave up her dreams of being a Juilliard-trained ballerina, which was her dream. This man comes in and love bombs her, proposes marriage within a month. She wants to date for a year. No, he's not going to respect her boundaries. He's not going to let her finish school. He's not going to let her live out her dream. She admits in the article that it wasn't her dream to have all these kids. So this man comes and love bombs her, and then they get married, which again, you have to understand what dating and courtship are like in a cult. It is not normal. It is not a normal trajectory. First of all, everything is rushed because God forbid they fornicate before they're married. They'd get in trouble with the cult. They would be shamed, okay? There's all of this pressure to marry quickly before you have sex. So she was feeling all of this pressure from her community and her church, knowing that if she made a mistake and had sex with this guy, she might get excommunicated or whatever they call it in the Mormon church. I mean, all cults are the same. It's just the details that differ. But I can tell you from experience what it's like. They destroy normality around dating and relationships. So there's all this pressure to get married right away to the first guy that shows you some attention so that you stay safe, because the scriptures say that, the woman will stay safe from horrible things like gossip by having lots of babies. And so in the Mormon church, it's different from JW in that they believe that, they need to have lots of babies because don't you want those souls to be born into a Mormon household? She's not making autonomous choices. She isn't. She is indoctrinated. She is in a cult. Just because the LDS church has twice the numbers of Jehovah's Witnesses doesn't make it any less of a cult. It's absolutely a cult. All the occult experts agree. It is a high control religious group. So why aren't we talking about that more? I haven't seen a single video where somebody is talking about this. Just because she's an adult and an intelligent woman does not mean that she's making choices from free will. She isn't. We need to stop saying that.
Great, then you can gather eggs.
Girl, divorce his ass, get the alimony, and go to Greece. Take yourself to Greece since he can't see all the sacrifices you gave up for him, and you get a egg apron for your birthday after all you done gave up for him. And the craziest part is, don't this man's family own some airlines or some shit? And he couldn't come up with plane tickets. Not only that, but this is a perfect example of money can't buy happiness. That family has more money than most of us could ever dream of. And because that man cannot read his wife and properly love her and care for her, he gonna be paying a crazy amount of alimony and divorce. Probably end up lonely. My boy. And I do say boy, because you ain't no kind of man.
Ooh, a hat I can wear in Greece.
Daniel, please take your wife to Greece. She said it 3 times in this video. She very clearly wanted to go to Greece. Normally, I don't think I'd ever say those words because I know people have limited means and it's a thoughtful gift, an egg apron. I think that's pretty cool. But the second part is, does she really want it? And I think she really wanted to go to Greece, and she's
She
just
wanted
so
to.
sad about it.
Yeah.
And she's a homemaker. She birthed you a football team of kids. Like, and your family owns an airline, right? Just give her tickets to Greece. It's made me so sad.
Imagine you're married to the heir to $1 billion fortune. Your husband's family is loaded. You have given this man multiple children. And it's your birthday, and all you really want are tickets to Greece.
A hat I can wear in Greece.
It's not a hat.
It's not.
Oh, my A-game friend!
Eggs in it.
Great, they didn't gather eggs. You're welcome.
Thanks, honey.
You know what she wants. You can give her what she wants, and you give her something that she could do more chores with. I just saw an article about this content creator. Her name is Ballerina Farm. She has like millions of followers here on TikTok. And in the interview, she talks about how she basically works herself into exhaustion. Taking care of, I think they got 6 or 7 kids, if I'm not mistaken. No nanny. They only have a maid that comes in once a week. She is so exhausted that sometimes she has to lay in bed for a whole week. He can't even give her for her birthday rest. The gift of rest. A man that only sees you in terms of your labor should be a red flag. I don't care if you're cooking and cleaning for him in a 1-bedroom shack or if you're cooking and cleaning for him in a 10-bedroom mansion. It should still be a red flag. You are more than chores. You are more than labor. You are a person with thoughts and dreams and goals and aspirations outside of being a wife, outside of being a mother, and outside of what you can do for other people.
It takes a lot. I feel like this man is really, it's not like I feel like that is it. That's what he's doing. He's intentionally trying to destroy our life. Intentional, because you have a woman to give birth 8 children for you, and you allow help. I feel like that's part that busts my head. You only allow help to come to your house once a week. It's not that he cannot afford help, or probably it's not boxed up, or some people that they'll be like, oh, I cannot cook and clean for my partner, I will take care of the children. Those are the people that probably, they know that they cannot afford to hire maid, they can't afford to hire nanny, they can't afford to hire a tutor, they can't afford all those things. So it's kind of overwhelming to those women and all of that, and also to the men. But then, you can afford it, you have the money, you have the luxury, you can do it, but you're not going to do it because you want your woman to do it. You want her to suffer for everything. That is one part that is busting my head. Once a week, maid comes into the house to clean up 8 children. 8 children, like 1, 2, 3, 8. I'm not even going to go to how she decided to give birth to 8 children. At the point, I feel like she's being brainwashed. I feel like the man has groomed her because he met her while she was young, and he didn't let her to even achieve her dream. She had to stop her career and all of that. And I'm sure that because he's wealthy, he must have used his influence, money influence, to talk her into everything. See, I kind of not blame her, but then I blame her. But then I'm kind of feeling pity for her, because at the end of the day, I feel like he groomed her, and I can actually see, I feel like she's not happy. To me, she's not happy. What I see in her is she needs a way out. She's looking for how to run away, but she cannot because she's already hooked in something like that. I don't think she's happy. If she's saying that she's happy, she's lying to herself, and she's just trying to make it look like she's happy. A lot of things are in place. A lot of things are going to get scattered. Like our children now are seeing the way the family is growing. Just like one of the videos was saying, they're seeing the way the way she's the way she's raising them. They will think it's normal. The girls, they think it's normal to just give birth to 8 children. They just think it's normal. Then the boys will think it's normal that it's my mom that does everything. Yes, the man might come like, I'm helping, I'm supporting. We all know when it comes to children, women does everything. Literally everything. The men just do the toppings. Even when they help, it's still toppings. It cannot be what woman does. Because children always want to be close to their mom, always want to be there. In fact, babies, they want to surround you no matter, even if you have help, you have nanny. If your children want to be all over you, they'll be all over you. Right? So, I kind of feel bad for her, to be honest. I kind of feel bad for her. But then, this is like, I feel like this particular thing is just like a lesson for everybody and also younger girls to know that, first of all, don't let any man kill your dream. You have your ambition. You have, place your focus. If this is what you want to achieve in life, place your focus. Don't let any man come to talk you out of what you want and advertise marriage and children to you and make you look as if that is the way. That is the only way, that's the only thing a woman can do to be happy. No. I feel like the fact that she has actually, stopped chasing her dreams. The fact that she's already having 8 children, I don't think she can achieve any dream. 8 children. Where do you start from? Where? And it's going to be very difficult for her because I feel like it's kind of relationship here. The man knows what he's doing. He's very much aware of what he's doing to her, and he will make sure that she doesn't get any payment. It will make sure that she might not even have any money to her name. Those are what these men do. They always do these things. He knows what he's doing, because a man that does not know what he's doing, you allow your wife. It's not like you cannot afford epidural, childbirth. And some people were saying, oh, she shouldn't have given birth to 8 children. That I'm not going to go to that. I'm not going to, because of course, you all know where I stand with giving birth to so many children and children. See, it's better for you to stay child free, right? 8 children. I feel like, to me, for her to give birth to that 8 children, number one, she's been brainwashed. The guy must have talked her into it, and because she's financially abused, like, he has money. I'm sure he has her wrapped around his fingers. He might be threatening her with so many things. He might tell her that, see, you're not going to get birth control because I don't want you to get birth control. And that is it. What can she do? Maybe she doesn't have anybody to talk to, and she's the kind of person that even her family will be like, your husband has money, go back there. There's something you can do. So I personally feel like she needs help, and I don't know, I just feel pity for her, but then, this is all wrong. And I feel like women should learn from this. Don't let any man spoil you. Don't let any man, just be focused. Because once they get you, that's it. They know. They must have seen, because she's very pretty, they must have seen your potential. They must have seen what you can acquire. And that is where they want to get you. Men don't go for women that they know that just want to be at home doing nothing and be useless. They don't go for the women that want to be tradwife. They go for the women that do not want to be tradwife. They go for the women that have dreams and ambition. They go for the women that they have potentials in them, so that they can lock them inside the house and start using them as baby making machine. I don't even understand how our body is going to heal with 8 children. I don't understand the fact that she keeps facing life and death situation 8 times. I won't be surprised if I hear again that she's pregnant with the 9th children. Maybe they are going to 12. But then this is just so. What is your take on this ballerina woman and the queen of tradwife? What is your take on this? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section respectfully. I really like to hear your thoughts in the comment section respectfully, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe and all of that good stuff. Share favorite again, Maria David, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.